Hi everyone, how's it going? This is Mike, and I'm here to, well, I've been tagged. I got tagged for the movie questions by Kevin, DrHasslein. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I just call him Dr. H. But Kevin, I apologize for taking so long to get this response up. I kind of got away from YouTube this past week. I wasn't watching a lot of videos, and I wasn't posting very many responses, and I'm just way behind on everything. So today is Saturday. I'm going to try to catch up today and tomorrow and get back with the program, okay? So anyway, I've been tagged. Got these questions here, and I wrote them down. And the first question is, why do I think I can read this without my glasses? Sorry. Okay. What film would you grab if you wanted to watch a tearjerker? Okay. Well, if I really want to cry, I would watch Beach Blanket Bingo. I'm kidding. That's a great movie all by itself, but it doesn't make me cry. No, I'm going to pick this movie called The Best Years of Our Lives, which is the best picture of the year 1946. And it's directed by William Wyler. It stars Frederick March, Myrna Loy, Dana Andrews, Teresa Wright, Harold Russell, Virginia Mayo, and Kathy O'Donnell, and even Hoagie Carmichael. This is a movie about three GIs coming home for World War II. They all live in the same town, although they didn't know each other. All come from different walks of life, and they become friends. And it shows them going back to their lives, their families, their homes, and struggling to find their way again. Struggling romantically, struggling in business. And one of the characters is played by a real-life soldier named Harold Russell, who never acted in a film before or since. And he is a man who he lost both of his hands in the war. So they use Harold Russell in the film, and he gives an amazing performance. In fact, he won Best Supporting Actor of the Year as a man who's trying to, well, get back with the girl he's been in love with since high school, and trying to find himself again in spite of his handicap. It is an amazing film even today. It's very emotional, extremely well acted, well written, and yeah, it still gets to me. So, all right, that's my answer for that one. All right, of all the films you own, which is your favorite or favorite edition? Well, I can't answer the favorite film question again, but I will answer my favorite edition. This is something I bought fairly recently. This is the 30th Anniversary Ultimate Edition of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Hope you can see that. I know there's kind of bad lighting in here. There's probably a glare on the cover. But this is amazing. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble. It was on sale about a month ago. And this is a 3-disc edition. Okay? It's got 3 different versions of the film. And the first one is the original theatrical cut. And then the second is what they call the special edition. And the third is the director's cut. And extra features on each disc. There are theatrical trailers on each one, and it also has, for each of the 3 discs, it has one part of a documentary called The Making of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And on the 3rd disc, it also has an interview with Spielberg. It also has a documentary called Watch the Skies, which I haven't watched all of yet. I think it was something that was done for television. Just an amazing set of discs here. And also, it's got this wonderful booklet, okay, loaded with extra features. A lot of great artwork on this whole package. This is the right way to package a disc. It's wonderful. And this has, of all things, a poster for the film. Let me get it the right way here. Poster for the film. And on the back it has kind of a timeline of where it all started and where it got to the point where they have this special edition. Okay, so that's very nice to have too. And you know what? Somewhere buried in my hoarder's house here, my hoarder's paradise, I think I still have it, an original full 1-sheet poster of Close Encounters that I bought up in Chicago about, wow, it had to be 20, 30 years ago. And it's folded up somewhere. I had it tacked up on the wall for a long time. Then I took it down. It's probably in bad shape, but I need to try to find this. Anyway, yeah, this is really wonderful. Okay, so I'll put that all back together later. All right, question 3. What film character would you want as a best bud? I thought about that one. I think really I would pick Samwise Gamgee from the Lord of the Rings series. Not just because I like the character, but Sean Astin did it so well, and he's one of my favorite actors. But talk about a loyal friend, I can't think of anyone that would be more loyal than Sam. All right? Okay. Film to recommend? Okay, here's one. There are a lot of films I could recommend, but here's something that's kind of different. This is a documentary film called 900 Nights, and it's about the rock group from the 60s, Big Brother and the Holding Company, which became very famous in San Francisco starting about 1965, and then a couple years later they became even more famous when they hired a Texas blues singer named Janis Joplin to be their lead singer. Okay, and she was such a forceful personality and singer that she began to eclipse the rest of the band, and it started within just a year or so. It was almost like Janis Joplin was the star and the band was her backup group. So she was only with them for about maybe 2 years at the most, and then she went solo. And so this is all about the group talking about what it was like when they had Janis in the band, and specifically about the making of the film Monterey Pop, which was the film documentary of the Monterey Pop Festival at which they appeared, and that was probably the one appearance that really made Janis into a star, and that's where she began to completely eclipse the band because they were kind of ignored by the documentary. But this has a lot of interviews with all the surviving members of the band. One of them has since passed away. James Gurley, the lead guitar player, died after this was done. But they all talk about Janis, they talk about their experiences back then, how they were affected by her death, and it also has a lot of live musical appearances and interviews with Janis as well. So it's a great thing to have. If you like the music of that era, or if you're still stuck in the 60s like me, so yeah, this would be a great thing to have. All right, here we go. Okay, question number 5 is the character with the best fashion sense. I racked my brains on that one. I could not find an answer to that, so sorry. Okay, 6, most inspirational film. This may seem like an odd choice. I was going to go with something religious, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different. This is a movie I fell in love with in the mid-1980s called Educating Rita. All right, it's an English film. I actually saw this film when I was in England back in 1984. I was visiting my family, meeting my relatives for the first time, and so yeah, it was kind of cool to see this great English film at the same time. This is about a young woman played by Julie Walters, who is, well, the film takes place in Liverpool, although it was entirely filmed in the Republic of Ireland. But it talks about a woman who is not happy with her life and her job, and she wants to improve her mind. So she takes a class at a university with a professor played by Michael Caine. Actually, she doesn't take a class, she takes private tutoring, so she can learn about books to read and how to interpret literature and how to improve herself mentally. So it just talks about her journey, and what I find so inspiring about this is the fact that someone is so in love with the idea of learning and getting a life of the mind that they would go to this trouble. And she alienates all the people in her life, her father, her husband. It actually breaks up her marriage because she starts to read books and she starts to care about these things and getting an education. And I just find it very inspiring that someone would care that much. And I don't know, it's just great. It inspired me to start reading even more. And yeah, once again, great performance by Julie Walters. She was nominated for an Academy Award, and she should have won, but she didn't. Okay, let's see. Movie with the kind of life you would want to live. Okay, I was thinking that I would like to live the life of a 1940s film noir detective like Sam Spade in The Maltese Falcon. Okay, I think that'd be cool to kind of live in that kind of world, at least for a while, until you get shot. Films you can watch over and over and over. Well, there are a lot of those, man. Really, that's part of my problem. I watch the same movies over and over, and that's why I have a stack of films this high that I have not watched yet. But Educating Rita is one of them. The films of Bette Davis, like All About Eve and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, now Voyager, I could watch those again and again. I do. Films of Barbara Steele, like Black Sunday and The Pit and the Pendulum, The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, I watch those incessantly. Something else. Ed Wood by, who's the guy? Tim Burton. I think that's a great movie, and I can watch that again and again. In fact, I have. So, all right. Next question is, where do I buy my movies? Well, okay, I've answered this question before, but I buy a lot of movies at Barnes & Noble. I buy them at Big Lots. I buy them online at creepyclassics.com, oldies.com, and Movies Unlimited. Okay, so anyway, and once in a while on eBay, if I want to find something really obscure and I win an auction. Okay, what character would you like to romantically involved with? Well, I didn't have to think about this very long. With this face, I think the best I could probably hope for would be Godzilla. So I'm going to leave you with that. So Kevin, thank you for tagging me, and once again I apologize for taking so long to get this done. And the person I'm going to tag is David Koenig, A Fiend on Film. So David, if you're watching this, I want to hear your answers eventually. Please don't take as long as I did, alright? Okay, thanks folks.